Kunkap. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And just to reflect on Professor Vitit's wonderful remarks for our keynote speech, talked about of hope. So, even though we are commemorating IDAHOBIT, we really want to make sure that the dress that you have brought to us, will definitely go towards more rainbow-colored dresses. And I have here with us the people behind the scene, basically, but also those who have been working really hard to ensure that there is the advocacy globally around decriminalization. So Arnold, who is the director, artistic director, and theater maker of the Amsterdam Rainbow Dress Foundation, and he has for over a decade led an international recognized project that connects LGBTQI plus activism globally. And we have also here Kim, has long been an active voice actress, and they're lending her voice to a wide range of animated characters. She is, amongst others, the Dutch voice of Donald Duck. And also we'll be hearing her in the latest Toy Story feature film as the voice of Snappy, the camera. Okay. In addition, she regularly appears in the guest roles of the Dutch television series and feature films. And without further ado, I'll turn you to Arnold. Please, welcome to be here with us in Bangkok. I hope you're enjoying your time here so far.
Absolutely. Loving it. We're working really hard, but it's really good to be here.
Thank you for allowing for your dress to be here with us. Can you tell a little bit more about the dress in which we have in this space, and how the Amsterdam Rainbow Dress came about, and how did the foundation come about?
Yes, I certainly can. This project, the Amsterdam Rainbow Dress, this artwork, we made this in 2016, so we're having our 10th anniversary this year. It was created during Europride in 2016. Amsterdam hosted Europride. Like World Pride going around the world, Europride goes around Europe, obviously. And in 2016, it was hosted in Amsterdam. And at the start of this Europride, the event would last 2 weeks. At the first day, they paraded through Amsterdam with different organizations. But in front of the parade, there was a group of people carrying all the flags of countries that criminalize the queer community. I had organized an event that would last the whole 2 weeks, together with the Amsterdam Museum. And they called me and asked me if I could do something with the flags after the parade had finished. So I called 3 friends of mine, all artists, and together we sat down, and actually in 10 minutes we made this plan to sew a dress out of it. So we started sewing like crazy, and within 24 hours we had created this dress. We also thought, when it was finished, we thought it was quite beautiful actually, so we wanted to photograph it. And I also work at our national museum, the Rijksmuseum. So I called our director at the Rijksmuseum to ask him if we could photograph the dress in front of the Rijksmuseum, and he agreed. But at that day, it was raining cats and dogs, so we couldn't photograph it outside. So I called him again, could we photograph it inside? And then he agreed on that, so we could photograph the dress in front of our national treasure, Night Watch, painted by Rembrandt, a very famous 17th century painting showing freedom in Amsterdam in the 17th century. So it's resonated actually with the freedom that the dress tries to promote. And that picture made by Pieter Henket, a very famous Dutch photographer, that went viral immediately. And that was how we started working with the municipality of Amsterdam, as well as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other big partners. So we thought we need a body to do our work. So we started the Amsterdam Rainbow Dress Foundation to be able to do our work. And a year later, the dress was donated to the Amsterdam Museum. So as it stands here, it's actually part of the collection of Amsterdam. It's a collection Amsterdam Museum. So what they did, they lent it out to us to do our work worldwide. And so it's the museum collection that we have here. So that's in short how it started.
Well, Arnold, you also have to tell us, so how many flags do you have there? Because I think we have our moderators before asking, is it 65, is it 66? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, it's the idea behind the dress is it is actually in total it's 81 flags, but the bodies of the dress is made out of 4 flags of the city of Amsterdam. So and we did that because when we started this, it was in Amsterdam, of course. We wanted to tell the people of Amsterdam as well as the rest of the Netherlands be open to refugees coming from these countries that are part of the dress. So it was also a call to action to Dutch people, to Amsterdam people, to be open to refugees from these countries. The idea is that as soon as a country decriminalizes, we take out that country's flag and replace it with a rainbow flag. So over the past 10 years, we have taken out 11 countries, so there's 11 rainbow flags in the dress now. Now, we had to add 1 country, so that happened as well. And we are now at the moment at 66 countries, and I heard the professor say, the former UN expert, that 65, but we follow the list of ILGA World, and they say 66 at the moment, so it's, well.
That's how you count it, right?
Yeah, and it's also sometimes a country, some people say it's a country, it's not, yeah.
Understandable. So I think it puts us back to the theme of this year, which is about at the heart of democracy, and our work with the embassy is around the journey from Amsterdam to Bangkok. And Christian, as his welcoming speech from the embassy of the Netherlands, mentioned that it's 25 years anniversary of the first country to have equal marriage, and then Thailand being the latest one. We just want to make sure that there is a momentum around that, and to also hear that the foundation itself is now celebrating 10-year anniversary, and having this art piece as a way to have those conversations. Let me turn to Kim for a bit, as I understand that this dress has been around the region for a bit, including in Bangkok for some landmarks photo shoots. Can you tell us a little bit more about how the photographs have been different in terms of the location, and how this helps to discuss around the decriminalization efforts in the countries that you actually have the dresses in?
Yes, for me it's the first time to join Arnoud with the dress, so I was really impressed by everything that was going on. And then I understand very quickly that the location is very important, because the people who are involved, I spoke with a lot of people who were in the dress, the people who are the crew, are also involved with the theme, with the LGBT+. The photographer James, for example, is also from the community, and also the producer and the editor. And we went to very different places in Bangkok. For example, we went to the embassy. So yeah, that's of course the Dutch embassy, but the place was really nice, and Gotland was in. And you really felt that everybody was really inspired by the fact that this drag queen was in, because that makes something about his roots, or her roots actually, that are from Bangkok, and also the photographer. It's a hard word. So that, yeah, and when we went also to the swing, what's the location called? I thought it. Giant swing, yeah, it was really beautiful, because when you see the location of Bangkok, you see the drag queen who was in the dress. She told me she was also involved with the place out there. She was helping people who are poor or having hard times, and she was really telling about the place. And then everybody was so inspired by making that beautiful picture. Everybody wanted to be great, and I think that will help to make it a personal story. And I think the personal story makes the art form more interesting, that people who see all the different photographs from all the different places see more than just a dress with flags, but also something that goes about more than we are all people. We're just people who want to be ourselves. And that was really touching for me when I saw it the first time. And also we went to the Stranger Bar with Mr. Stranger Fox herself. Mrs. Strange Fox. And then you also see everybody who's around the place, in the street, everybody wants to see it, and that you see it back in the picture. So that makes it really, I think, when something is personal and with a lot of passion, that it makes it universal at the same time. So that, I think, you can add something if you want, Arnoud, because you've done it before.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's we always look wherever we go worldwide. We work together with local photographers, local models. So the photographers are artists, the models are mostly artists or activists. They have really their own stories to tell, and we bring the dress as an art piece from Amsterdam, and then we say to the artists everywhere locally, please make it your own, make it a local story. So it's much stronger to tell that story through personal local stories.
I think it's definitely a conversation starter because you cannot miss the dress, right? And then there'll be questions asked about, what is the dress for? Why are these flags? I think that makes it already a conversation. And adding that with locations in different places that you go to, I think it really amplifies the voices of the local
Exactly.
people to kind of say, like, actually, this is what our movement is about. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
I know, coming back to you, because this dress has also been to Taiwan and the Philippines, as I understand. And what have been the differences in terms of the conversation around LGBTQI human rights versus in Thailand? And where is the dress going next?
Yeah, it has been to Taiwan, it has been to the Philippines. I would say I could compare Taiwan maybe, it goes quite similar to what Thailand is maybe. Philippines maybe as well, but we also went to South Korea, for example. And that was a very interesting experience, actually, because the community really wanted us to be there, and they had this big pride event, but it was fenced. And so it was in front of the city hall in Seoul, but it was fenced. And that was because there were big demonstrations around at the outside of the fence, trying to prevent people from having their pride moment. We also, the embassy there had made it possible for us to photograph inside City Hall, but eventually, a week before we came, for example, the mayor there had decided that we were not able to photograph inside City Hall. So that was for our Asian visits up to now, maybe the most hard one. It was very religiously driven, the protests around the Pride. I didn't know, but there's a bunch of Catholic people that are really hardcore there, and that so that was completely different actually from all the other prides that we had been to in the Philippines and in Taiwan, for example.
It makes it also very symbolic, I think. Then when the dress is about this subject and then something happens around the dress, yeah, it's hard, but it's also, then you see why you're doing it, I think. I don't know, I wasn't there.
Yeah. Certainly.
Yeah.
And to answer the second part of your question, where is it going next? Well, this year it's a very full year since we are celebrating our 10th anniversary, combined with World Pride in Amsterdam, of course. So we're doing this huge project with the National Opera and Ballet in Amsterdam, which will premiere on the 25th of July in Amsterdam. But before that, we will, on Wednesday we fly to Singapore and we'll be there for a short visit. And then later on in this month, we will be in Frankfurt, Germany, and in London. And then after the summer, in October, we will do a big tour, actually 3 or 4 cities in India. So that will also be very interesting to go there. And I just received a call if we could be in San Francisco later on this year as well. So it's going to be a full year again. And but there's some interesting. I'm really looking forward to India, since it's of course the community there. It's so many people. It's huge, and it's all these different cities with their own history. So it's going to be very interesting, I think.
That's great. It's great to hear that it's going to so many different places around the region as well. Some of you may know that India decriminalized Singapore as well, and Bhutan and the Cook Islands in the Asia-Pacific region. And to also hear like the dress will also go to those locations to actually talk about how also they've been really good at decriminalizing, but there are also some other LGBT issues that the communities also want to see their rights to be equal as well. we are coming to like the end of this fireside chat session, and maybe I just give you 2 minutes each to kind of wrap up and see what you like to say as your last words. Kim.
Yes, well, I was here for a week, and it was so inspiring to talk to all the people when the opening night was. What for me was very special when I talked to this non-binary person, and she was really happy that we were here, but also for her it was inspiring to see the dress, because she's also fighting for her their rights to get a platform here, to be heard. And we're talking a lot about the gay and lesbians and the bisexual and the intersex people have a very hard, and non-binary people, very hard place to be accepted. And that's what I thought that's the big difference in the Netherlands, that we, since a few years, it's getting more accepted or visible, let's say, not accepted, but visible. And so there are so many people having hard times with it and fighting for it, and that is still so important, and it's getting a bit, you were saying, or someone was saying that it's really progressive in the Netherlands, but it's not really so progressive anymore. Sometimes you feel the tension, what's happening in the United States. Well, you feel the need for it, and you have to fight for it and never stop. That's a pity at the other side, but at the other side, at this side, we are doing it. So I hope we go on, like the professor said, also the positive side, and doing things by art. Well, that's very important. So I hope that will help everybody. They inspired me. I hope we also inspired them. Yes.
And for you, Arnold?
Yeah, our project, it's, we made this dress and we use art as a conversation starter to talk about queer rights worldwide. But a talk can only happen when people do it. So we really call on people to use this artwork, to use the photography that we made to spread the story. So I would call up onto people to go to our Instagram, to go to our Instagram for now, our website later. Use the photographs that we made in Bangkok, that they are amazing, spread them, and tell people what the situation is, because we have had it so many times that people are in front of this dress, looking at it, really admiring it, what it looks like, and all the colors, and then if you tell them what it is about, they are really shocked, actually, that it's still a third of the countries in the world that criminalize the queer community. So I would call onto people to spread the story and use the images, use the dress, use whatever you need to make people aware of the situation worldwide, and be open to people. And you have that in the region as well. I can imagine people coming from the region to Thailand to have their more free life here. We have the same thing in the Netherlands. Be open to these people. They have a hard time.
Thanks so much, Arnold. Thanks so much, Kim. And just maybe to add also that, as Arnold mentioned, the upcoming World Pride will be hosted in Amsterdam. And I know that a lot of the communities in Asia will be representing there. We'll be working with some partners in the Netherlands as well to ensure that the voices of LGBTQI people, particularly those that are still living in criminalized countries, can also raise their voice and do that advocacy at this very special Pride, and also celebrating the 25th anniversary of the marriage equality in the Netherlands as well. Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you so much, Arnold, for being with us this morning. ขอบคุณมากครับ
Thank you to all speakers for sharing those meaningful reflections